Всем привет! С вами Ведьмак. Сейчас мы будем проходить новый квест. Reversion, the last chapter 3. То есть глава 3, the last chapter, то есть последняя глава. Последняя глава, напомню, вышла в курсе. Вышла, по-моему, чуть ли не 5 лет назад. И наконец-то описанские разработчики доделали данный квест. Вот. Может кто-то за них порадоваться. Почему-то я не знаю, не трилогию. Мы там назвали это The Chapter. Ну что ж, давайте поиграем. Это это обычно написано. 250 рублей, да, 28 февраля вышла игра. Так, ну что.
Previously on Reversion. Christian wakes up at Gadahan Hospital and can't remember anything. He is carrying half a photograph of a person he can't recognize. The doctor tells him it is the year 2035 and that the city of Buэнos-Ayres has been taken over by a paramilitary group that is keeping them hostage. There he meets Victoria, another patient and prisoner, and together they think up an escape plan. Once outside the hospital, Victoria tells him that she is part of the resistance and suggests he should contact Pablo, someone who might help him ID the man in the photo. When he meets Pablo, Christian learns that the resistance wants the government to bring back order, and for that, they need information from a mole with whom they have lost contact. Christian looks for the mole, but only finds his body and his ID. Following this lead, he gets to the right address to check out the place, and to his surprise, he finds the other half of the photo of himself dressed as a scientist. So he goes back to Pablo's hideout to look for answers, but he has been kidnapped by the paramilitary group. However, he has left an important tip. He must go to the School of Engineering. There, he figures out the path to one of the secret bases of the Resistance, where he finds Victoria, as well as the man in the photo, but he is several years older. Reversion, Chapter 3, The Return.
You're the professor in the photo.
Christian, it's been so long. Gosh, I'm glad to see you. Welcome.
Christian? Me? You?
Victoria told me you lost your memory. I'm Nicholas. I was your teacher at college and we worked as colleagues.
I'm sorry, but everything's a blur.
I see. What counts is that now you are safe.
I appreciate your worries, but I'm here for answers.
Where do I begin?
For example, tell me, have I really traveled through time?
It's a long story. Our teleportation machine failed. An open space-time hole which sucked us in.
So, am I really a scientist? Did I make a teleportation machine?
One step at a time. I better tell you everything from scratch. Let me know when you're ready to listen.
At least this time they don't disappear and leave me with no answers. Hello?
What's up?
Thank you. You put yourself in danger letting them get you. You took a risk to contact me.
You're welcome. When Nicholas found out someone had arrived through a wormhole, he was sure it was you. He never lost hope. Most of us already thought you were dead.
That sounds hard.
The lives of all of us have been very hard since the incident. What matters is that Nicholas was right. And now you're here to give us a hand.
Of course. You can count on me. Thank you. You put yourself in danger letting them get you. You took a risk to contact me.
You're welcome. When Nicholas found out someone had arrived through a wormhole, he was sure it was you. He never lost hope. Most of us already thought you were dead.
That sounds hard.
The lives of all of us have been very hard since the incident. What matters is that Nicholas was right. And now you're here to give us a hand.
Of course. You can count on me. Thank you. You put yourself in danger letting them get you. You took a risk to contact me.
You're welcome. When Nicholas found out someone had arrived through a wormhole, he was sure it was you. He never lost hope. Most of us already thought you were dead.
That sounds hard.
The lives of all of us have been very hard since the incident. What matters is that Nicholas was right. And now you're here to give us a hand.
Of course. You can count on me. I have the intel files I found in Esteban's house.
Perfect. That information is very valuable. Take good care of it. It cost the life of one of us. I never thought I wouldn't see Esteban again.
Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you.
No problem. It's hard to get used to the loss of people you love.
How many more are there in the Resistance?
Not much more than what you see here. Nicholas, me, Pablo, if he's still alive, and a few more. When Nicholas recruited us, we were hundreds. But Sergio's forces hunted us down like rats.
What kind of information did Esteban collect?
Nicholas' initial plan was to rebuild the machine. So one of us could go back to the past and prevent the incident. But he got stuck again in the formula of the pulse stabilizer. And without your help, he was never gonna finish it. Later on, the mission turned into stopping Sergio and getting Argentina to be what it once was. Esteban worked as a double agent in that mission to find information to hack Sergio's communication center.
Ой, я не слышу, пап. Не слышу, папа, дверь закрой. Хорошо. Ой. Так, ладно, сейчас я поставлю 84. Динамики. Громкость динамики. Так.
Together with the files, I found the other half of the photo I had. I'm in part of this photo.
Esteban had told Nicholas he had found a photo, and he was really excited with it. You should show it to him.
Так делается. Хочешь настроить?
Hola, sí, sí, hola, sí. Hola, sí, sí, hola, sí. Hola, sí, sí, hola, sí.
Какая теория?
Hola, sí, sí, hola, sí. Hola, sí, sí, hola.
Заново что сделать? Чтобы все время громкость не делать. Я просто в игре очень громко.
Sí,
Together with the files, I'm in part of this photo.
Esteban had told Nicholas he had found a photo, and he was really excited with the finding. You should show it to him.
Now there's one more in the resistance.
Every person counts.
I have the...
Perfect. That information I never thought I...
Sorry.
No problem. It's hard.
Now...
Every person...
Thanks.
You're welcome.
If I touch any of this, Nicholas will want to kill me. I don't need a fire. I'd better not. There's nothing useful there. Professor,
Yes.
I'm ready to...
Ready to listen? Listen to what?
You told me to let you know when I was ready.
I guess you're still a little confused. Time travel must affect you too much. Anyway, since you're here... Tell you my story.
I might have lost my memory, but the professor looks... The good thing is that I'm finally gonna get some answers.
Everything started in Innovate, a science and technology fair to shape the future, where I presented my lifelong project, the teleportation machine, which of course needed financing to come true. During my research, my colleagues treated me like a crazy dreamer, so it was rewarding when the first person interested in the machine showed. It turned out to be some Serджио, an unscrupulous businessman. Should I agree to work with someone like that? I didn't know if it was the right thing to do, but the opportunity was unique. So I tried to convince him of the benefits we'd get. Finally, a few weeks later, I decided to sign. That contract was the beginning of it all. Several months of hard work followed, but your presence plus Victoria and Florencia made all that work bearable. Finally, the day for the machine startup arrived. Everything looked right, but something failed. The machine opened up a hole that sucked me in. Christian, that hole turned out to be a time hole. Suddenly, I was in a destroyed Buэнos-Ayres. I found little Victoria, who had grown up. She helped me figure it out. Serджио had taken advantage of the destruction wave. In the following chaos to overtake the city helped by a paramilitary group. Buénos-Ayres was isolated from the rest of the country under Sergio's dictatorship. Since then, we have organized the resistance together as a way to redeem myself for the great damage that my invention had caused. But I soon understood that stopping Serджио would not be an easy task. And to do that, many would have to continue suffering.
Now I understand why every time I hear the name Serджио, I get sick to my stomach.
There are many things in this lab back from when we worked together. If you want to, you may go over them. I'm sure that'll help you remember.
Thanks a lot, Nicholas. There's nothing useful there. If I touch Nicholas will want to kill me. It's not the time to sit for a rest. I'd better not touch it. I don't want Nicholas to get mad at me. It's perfectly aligned. There's no need to arrange it. I'd better not. They haven't made it work yet. I don't want to take any of this. It's Nicholas's. That's the table Nicholas must... It's full of paper. They're the... Professor,
Yes,
how come the teleportation machine failed?
a sabotage! Sergio wanted to keep my invention and sabotage the pulse stabilizer you designed to make me believe I had failed. But the machine responded in an unexpected way, affecting not only the matter, but also the time. Obviously, the equations in my theory had application that even I didn't know.
Ну что, прямой трансляции полетели.
I designed... What?
The pulse stabilizer, yes, that made the machine stabilize and work properly. You realized about the problem and you designed it. You pulled us out of a dead-end street.
I can't believe I created something like that.
Yes, you did, though you are so young. You are a brilliant scientist. It appears you are going to surpass my talent.
Why did the machine make us travel through time?
The machine worked transporting the matters through a wormhole. But evidently, the implications underlying the physics we discovered have ramifications which I've never considered.
Wormholes? I think I read about that. In some files I found. I should show them to him.
Не, ну я так понял, игра нас заставляет пройти первые 3 главы. Я совершенно не помню. Первый пошел 14, второй 15 пошел.
Why was Sergio the only one interested in such a machine?
Sergio was a member of a very dangerous mob net, Christian. Right after the incident, he managed to respond very fast with an elite team because he had it beforehand. I suppose no other investor approached me because Sergio was threatening them.
Первая глава вообще чуть не бесплатно. Вторая
I guess I'm beginning to... Did the temporal hole drop a...
In temporal terms, I got here first, 10 years ago. We've been working a lot since then to build the resistance.
Did you have any hope that I'd arrive?
At some point, must stop waiting for you, but I never lost hope to see you again. Christian, I'm so happy to see you. I have new hopes for our plans.
What's the plan?
The plan? Of course, the plan. I've been trying to replicate your formula for years. The one to build your famous pulse stabilizer, which allows the machine to work properly. You should check out the board. That's as far as I could get.
Let's see if I can exercise my memory a little. Why did I lose...
I suppose you were more exposed than me to the electromagnetic radiations of the portal. That must have altered the sight. When you have time, you should...
Do you think I'll get my memory back?
We might stimulate it with memories that were important for you.
Who's that name?
Where did you hear that name?
You mentioned her when you were telling the story.
She worked with us at the beginning of the project. It's really not that important.
How come the teleportation machine...
A sabotage, Sergio, and sabotage to make... But the machine responded in an affecting none. Obviously, the equations in my theory had a...
How could they...
Even today, we don't know exactly what Sergio did. But I'm sure he added modifications to your stabilizer.
But how could he modify something I designed?
The lab where we worked had security cameras in all entrances. The only possible chance was that there was a mole in our team.
Do you suspect someone?
Are you hungry? Victoria could fix you something.
That was weird. Why did he dodge the question? Why did
The machine worked transporting the matter through a wormhole. But evidently the implications underlying the physics we discovered.
wormholes in some files I've found? Why was Sergio the only one interested in...
Sergio was a member of a... Right after the incident, he managed to respond very fast because he had it... I suppose no other investor approached me because Sergio...
I get... Thank you.
Yo,
Так грузит мозги, конечно. Масло.
This is useless. These are Esteban's intel files. Unfortunately, how can I put this?
died in the line of duty. Victoria told me. Esteban was a brave ally and a great friend. The files he got for us are very important. They will allow us to access the communications center. It's important that you keep them. They'll be of much use in the future.
Nicholas told me to look at these formulas. Pulse, stable, teleportation. I'm remembering something. Nicholas was blocked, but I couldn't give up. I worked a lot to get a formula to create the pulse stabilizer. And when we tested the machine, something unexpected. I'm remembering it clearly. I've never been so frightened in my life.
Christian, the machine is totally unstable. I don't think I can hold much longer. A singularity is on the making.
That means that the pulse stabilizer failed.
Never mind. We gotta turn it off. It's accumulating too much energy. And if the singularity closes in an unstable way, the accumulated energy will create an expensive wave.
At the time, I thought it was my fault. Sergio is the one responsible for all this.
Yes,
Professor, we're going...
yes, we got to turn off the machine.
We'll think of... Could you tell me the formula?
Christian, I am the Nicholas of your memories. If you don't know, how should I check whether there's something on...
The board is...
Well, you could have come up with that idea when we were not flying up in the air.
What a temper! Professor,
Yes,
I don't...
Christian, your conclusions were perfect. We're clearly facing something beyond our knowledge. What's happening?
We'll talk...
Think...
It's the same periodic table on the photo I have with Nicholas. We must have taken it there. It would be... But for now, if I... If I could get close to those cables, maybe if I unplug...
Don't even think about guessing the power could bring...
It would be awesome to stretch my... But for now, if I... It's the machine command. It's a good thing I couldn't read. If we turned off the machine while it was unstable, the result would have been... Right. I was working on the formula on the board. If I focus on what I'd written there, I might remember it. My memories are blurry, but I gotta make an effort. If only I could do away with the wrong memories. Now, something's... Let's start... I'm sure these portions are not part of the formula.
Просто две одинаковые.
Yes, this portion of the formula is correct. Yes, I got it. This was the formula. I'm sure. I can't anymore. Nicholas, I managed to remember the whole formula.
Really? That's the best news ever! Now I can go on building the new machine.
I wrote it on the board.
Perfect. I suppose you're already thinking how to rescue Pablo from Serджио, right?
I didn't know I had to go rescue him.
Of course. I'm really worried about him. That was the first thing I told you.
No, you said nothing.
Well, that must be something else you forgot. Memory loss is affecting you a lot. Thank you very much, Christian. You're very brave. After losing Esteban, I can't stop thinking that Pablo may have the same end.
Any idea where I can begin?
Wounded prisoners are always taken to the hospital. We never knew their final destination. Maybe starting out there is a good option.
To the hospital again? I keep going to that place.
I'm afraid that we have more dangerous missions in the near future.
Okay, at least I already know the hospital. Should be easy this time.
Что, больница?
Hello?
What's up?
I have the
Perfect. That information is... I never thought I wouldn't see...
Sorry.
No problem.
Together with the I'm part of the...
Esteban had told Nicolas he had found a photo, and he was really... You should show it to...
Now? Thanks.
You're welcome.
So, you...
I guess last time I saw him, he was not very coherent.
I pretended very well. I was never crazy. I said you're famous because the professor's been waiting for your arrival became our last great hope.
Then, if you know the are you part of the Resistance?
One of the few left.
You did fool me.
I've always liked acting.
So, you...
That's correct. My job who get to the university with no In your case, Nicholas had already told, but I had to make sure you were no imposter. I just gave you some clues for you to find the way. I was sure that if you were the real Chris, fortunately I was not wrong.
How long have you been in university maintenance?
That was many years ago. You might not remember me, because I was much younger when you attended, but I was already in Maine the day everything changed.
Amazing. And how come...
At the beginning, I was much like everyone else, trying to survive. But one day I learned about a mysterious scientist who was putting together a resistance against Serджio. I didn't think twice and contacted him to be a part of it. When I learned it was Nicholas, I could hardly believe it. 10 years had gone by and he looked just the same. He told us everything about the sabotage to his machine. He was always very transparent with us.
How long have you been...
That was many years ago. You might not remember me because I was much younger when you attended college. But I was already in maintenance the day of the incident. The day everything changed.
Amazing. And how come you're still here?
At the beginning, I was much like everyone else, trying to survive. But one day I learned about a mysterious scientist who was putting together a resistance against Serджio. I didn't think twice and contacted him to be a part of it. When I learned it was Nicholas, I could hardly believe it. 10 years have gone by and he looked just the same. He told us everything about the sabotage to his machine. He was always very transparent with us.
How long have you been in
That was many years ago. You might not remember me, because I was much younger when you attended college. But I was already in maintenance the day of the incident. The day everything changed.
Amazing. And how come you're still here?
At the beginning, I was much like everyone trying to survive. But one day I learned about a mysterious scientist who was putting together a resistance against Serджio. I didn't think twice and contacted him to be a part of it. When I learned it was Nicholas, I could hardly believe it. 10 years had gone by and he looked just the same. He told us everything about the sabotage to his machine. He was always very transparent with us.
So,
That's correct. My job is to mislead people who get to the university when, in your case, Nicholas had already told me you might arrive, but I had to make sure you were knowing. I just gave you some clips. I was sure that if you were fortunately...
we'll talk.
See ya.
I would, if there was a... I don't need to open it.
Да, вот, кстати, вспоминается сначала как-то.
It's spray paint. It's the Greek letter lambda. If it resisted the expansive wave, it makes no sense trying to...
Самый первый.
If I wear civilian clothes, I might be discovered. Hello. What are you doing?
I'm selling hot dogs. What do you think?
I guess you're gonna have... The city's all...
There are a few people left, but those people need... Being the only hot dog seller has some benefit. Would you like one?
No, I'm not hungry.
Your loss.
How come
I ask you the same. I've been here with my hot dog stand every Monday for over 10 years, and I never... Where did you come from? A wormhole?
No.
Well, I haven't sold much today. It's vacations time, and there are a few...
You're nuts. There's nobody ever...
Well, they order delivery.
Are you a...
Spy.
I don't know.
Look, I sell them hot dogs, but that doesn't mean that I spy for them, does it?
That means that you have information about...
I know quite a lot, but I can't disclose it because it'd go against the hot dog guy's professional ethics.
That's for...
Well, in my free time...
Give me a hot...
I can't sell you one. They're all...
But you offered me one.
I've just received a booking from the Garahan Guards. So
A booking? What?
they sent me an SMS.
I see.
I can only sell sodas by the pack.
You run a... I'm your only customer and I can't buy...
I've no choice. Otherwise, the margins kill me.
Bye.
See you.
Not even the seats were left. The access is impossible to go. If I wear civilian clothes, I might be... I don't think that'll be of any use. I can't use those things. It fits perfectly. That's it. Let's get this show on the road. Let's see if I can find Pablo inside. Okay, here we are.
Ну, это будет в следующем стриме.
If they've already interrogated Pablo, they'll surely bring him here after. I'm really worried about what they can do to him.
Через 5 минут. С вами был Ведьмак. Подписывайтесь, ставьте лайки. Хотите узнать, что было дальше, смотрите следующий стрим. Не забываем подписываться.